those movies like that primate movie they have. But Alan, was it Alan who told me that? Yeah, Alan talked to me about that, about the baboons in South Africa that were breaking into people's houses, into their fridges and things, and taking food and stuff. And that's scary. Yeah, a baboon can rip the roof off a Range Rover and kill you. Yeah, that's scary. A grizzly can, and a polar bear. That that animal, if you don't have, if it decides it's going to come and hunt you and kill you and tear through things, stuff. Um, Most animals are intelligent enough because of survival to avoid a human being and hunt things that don't have rifles and shelter, that it tears your body apart to get through the shelter, and then they have ways of injuring you that will kill you just for a meal. Right? Most animals are intelligent enough, unless you put them to that brink, to that point. But animals may start reacting that way just because of the human genocidal operations that has them acting animalistic, and they're a threat to the planet's existence. So you never know. That may be the more, because it's symbiotic, the more logical, instead of the breathing stuff and all that stuff on the After Earth, propaganda retarded movie. Well, they're retarded. Oh God, they're retarded. They are so fucking retarded. They couldn't pull their heads out of their asses if they tried. You have to do it for them. And then they shove it right back in, and you're like, fuck, I hate these assholes. Now they give me what I need to survive better, you know. But you're like, what? Engineering? Seriously? Okay. I will live better when you stop the survivalist training and and trying to answer all your questions because you're the problem to your question. You don't need to go looking for answers to questions that are caused because of you. You need to stop being the answer to the question of what the fuck is happening. It's wrong. You know what I'm saying? Okay. When you're wrong and you're doing bad things and you're wrong because you're a liar. Okay. The only way to save yourself from that wrong bad is to be truthful. And you're not truthful. The big thing is you're not truthful with yourself. Okay. The biggest liar that you are to is with yourself. Okay. And I'm like, dang, it's because this gosh damn, yeah. Well, if I had been quieter and focused more on myself during December, I spent more time managing my thing to soak out in the sun when it was warm. Right? And shaved and soaked and exercised and did all the things that I was supposed to do. Right? My remission would be radically different than going in the exact opposite direction. Okay. And now, okay, I'd be feeling better. And my immune system would be reacting in a more healthy manner. And then now in January, so it's like you just made it harder on yourself. It's like, no, you did. Because I'm the living correction of the fantasy of corporations that you guys call religions, right? That they're not religion. That's not religion. Okay. A group of people taking a narrative of people that are religious and turn it into an aggressive, manipulative economic institution is not religion. Okay. I just don't see Jiddu Krishnamurti or the Buddha or Siddhartha or Jesus or Muhammad or Moses or Abraham being the head of the Mormon church that does espionage to maintain economics for the United States of America. That's just like, what? How much for my name, image, and likeness? Could you see Jesus and Paul and Joseph doing name, image, and likeness? Seriously? No, we're just supposed to share everything that we have because, okay, these fucking Egyptians are rackadoodles, right? There's no way in hell. that Joseph or Daniel is your nephew. Yes, I know my family's involved in name, image, of likeness, and that Suzanne Martinez paid for his college. Okay. And he goes to Chicago and he meets Randy Brown and he goes through the facilities and there's Michael Jordan. It's like, I don't care. They're assholes. My brother made rings for Michael Jordan. He's a jeweler in San Antonio. Okay. And me, I'm the Messiah telling people rocks aren't valuable. You can't eat them, make love with them, or drink them. What can you use them for? Something. We'll find out. It took so long till I found out, but I found out. And you don't take your time and give your precious time away, toiling away for egomaniacs and murderers and psychopaths to get those rocks. You know what I'm saying? And what the hell's wrong with these people? Right. And if there's still a part of me in my brain, okay, primate, okay, that's attracted to Northwestie's mom, it's a survival instinct. It has nothing to do with my faith. Okay. I know in the future when we're applying the physics of the Lord's Prayer and sharing the humble, intelligent faith of Psalms and the wisdom of Proverbs to sustain it. Okay. I know how pretty Edna Gomez is. I know how pretty Miriam Delegro Montalvo is. Okay. The two girls that I wanted to be with that wanted to be with me, but it wasn't the right time. Okay. And like Amy said, I'm not her forever love. Okay. I'm not the one, and we weren't supposed to be together, okay, according to her, but that's because of what's right and what's wrong. She's a woman. Okay. If we were doing everything right, you'd be with Edna or Miriam. Yeah, she's right. Okay. What about the stuff with Rocky and all that? They always kept me. Women are different than men, guys. Okay. The way women smell pheromones when you're in survival mode, okay, is different. Edna and Miriam were unique. They're unique. Okay. They're like Barbara Luna's character with Joaquin on the tamales. I'll fight you. Okay, they were a little bit more. They were spunky, spunky, right? Miriam used to do the same thing my mom did. Okay. Edna never got the chance. She just was like, what did you say to him? He turned into a ghost and left. He was scared shitless of you. It wasn't what I said to him. It was my pheromones. He worked with drug dealers. They dress and look like the two cabrons, in the designer clothes, cleaning up the fucking litter in New Mexico. But I was scarier. Those two cabrons cleaning up litter in New Mexico. I'm going to become a Telvander's preacher because I went to the Sturgis and met the guy that would kill me and I didn't want to die that day. Well, then be reborn. Motherfucker, don't make me have to kill you. It's not really killing. It's basically salvation. Life's eternal and grace is infinite. I hit you between the eyes and cut your fucking raping head off, and then we're living the Lord's Prayer, and then a child is born to carry on, So if they rape you with computer programs, and in close proximity, they have a lot of, rapist computer programs, and you feel you don't have a future. That's why Jesus gave me Suzuki in the past. Not to look to the future, because I don't want to have the technology kill the people that are mentally raping me now. And Suzuki's like, Earl, these are the same people and the business partners of the people that killed everybody in the village in Japan. That was, okay. All the nobodies, Why? To prove to my people that they cannot trust the people that were Japanese, that were supremacist. Okay. Life's eternal and grace is infinite, Earl. But it's just, no, we had to take that stance. I understand. Our children are different. They're taught not to be afraid of being murdered. Okay, in Japan. Okay. Is it scary? Yes, it's scary, but if you trust your parents and you have faith in infinite glory and you understand eternity, you're not afraid. You would rather be killed by an assassin with your parents than be raised by an assassin to be like the assassin. That's what they're taught in Japan. Okay. Why didn't they tell us that on Shogun? Because Anna's mom isn't like Suzuki. Yield and overcome. Do not, no, you're an assassin. You take a paycheck from people that murder people over money and poison them to death and say, oh, it's cancer. Right? It's not cancer. The cancer cells in your body, you mainly shut you down when you have too much stress and too much toxins in the environment. Okay. It's not the cancer cell that's the problem. It's the stress and the toxins in the environment that are the problem. A dog could figure it out. Why isn't Zachary Quinto, the hero, going to save the cheerleader? What the fuck, right? You got the double whammy, so you need more. You need more drugs to assimilate your body to what they have no intention on stopping until they're ready to stop it. Okay, these are the people like, oh, you can't poison an ninjutsu. You have to do it in a way that looks natural. What do you mean looks natural? I don't understand. I'm not insane. Okay, I'm not Richard Milhouse Nixon. I'm not Nelson Rockefeller. Okay, I'm not David Rockefeller. I'm not insane. Okay, I'm not Mark Zuckerberg. Okay, I'm not Elon Musk. I am not insane. I am a sane and rational human being being abused by people. Say, why aren't we living the Lord's Prayer yet? We have this technology. It doesn't need to become too manipulative, invasive. It doesn't need to be elemental. Fuck a duck and primate. And so what the? So you sit there, and before it made me like I got to do this. It's like no, I don't. I already did it. Okay, so it's like what do we? I don't need to solve any problems. I don't need to build a pallet house in the cold in the 129 days. I don't need to do any of that shit. I'm not Jeremiah fucking Johnson. Okay. I'm Earl Parsons. I need a house, a home, a family, and a girl who loved me so. And if she joins the burlesque show, it's in our bedroom and that's it, Missy. No Vanity Fairs, no New Yorkers, no nada. Okay. If there's a burlesque show, it's only in our bedroom. And only with us. No. No ex-wives, no ex-girlfriends, no. They got to find their own burlesque show partners. And I'm not really that big into burlesque. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I don't want any glitter. I don't want any food. I don't want any. Well, I want food. I just don't want food during sex. But no. An affection? Nah, just good old fashioned affection. Still sucking. I don't want to airline tickets to romantic places. No, that's a song for murderers. Okay. I mean, but Paul Anka talking about with old Sinatra and shit. No, we had to play mass murderers. Okay. It's like guy playing for Wesley Snipes on New Jack Swing at the wedding. Okay, they had all that money. Wow, how'd they get that money? It sure wasn't living the Lord's Prayer, right? Okay. Sure wasn't being like Muhammad and Jesus. Okay. So, yeah. No, don't feel sorry for people that won't stand up with me for their children for the Lord's Prayer, and they go fly all over the world doing entertainment for mass murderers. Don't feel sorry for them. They feel sorry enough for themselves. They do. And it seemed to me you live your life like a candle in the wind. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of being tortured by perverts that give us the CCOT industry. What? Seriously, could you be bigger fucking murdering, raping pussy faces? No, I don't know. Never mind. That was a rhetorical question, not a literal one. Saved by the Bell, right? And I watched Saved by the Bell. I was like, no, because there's nothing like that. No, when it came to, they don't have like, I'm not like Ferris Bueller. No. I mean, we did funny things for a joke, like I wanted to talk the football team into taking, it would have been easy. We just got the big green ladder, put it up the side of the performing arts center thing, then go up there because they have a ladder up the side of the thing there. And then you just get you get a couple of ropes, you tie it up, you have four offensive linemen, four linebackers. We would have had at least, about 20 tables stacked up in a pyramid on top of that, and that would have been my pyramid. That would have been. I didn't talk them into it enough. If I'd have talked them into it enough and explained it to them, they would have done it. Because they would have thought it was funny, because they would have been like, that's so cool. There's 20, look, there's 20 picnic tables stacked on top of a pyramid on top of the Performing Arts Building. Yeah, that is, who did, what? It wasn't that hard. It was pretty easy. It took only 8 of us, but we'd do it faster and wouldn't get caught. Oh, hell, us linebackers could have done it. Yeah, but in less of time. You needed the offensive linemen. They did most of the heavy lifting. Yeah, me and football players. Okay, guys, I love you. All right. I usually talked them into it. I said it and they did it. Oh, wow. They're just amazing. Those football players. Okay, guys, I love you. All right, peace.